don't want to dust you up and then interfere with your stuff.
All right. sir?
Yes, sir.
I thought I saw you. Ray's my good friend, and
Yes, sir.
I'm Mag. Nice
Nice
meeting
to
you.
meet you.
Yeah.
Yes,
What
sir.
time do you get off?
Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays?
Yes,
Come
sir.
over and see y'all.
All right, please
Yes,
do.
yes, sir.
All right.
You local here in the neighborhood?
Yes, sir.
Man, we need to get us some work.
Yeah, I'm here most mornings. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm right up the block on 2019.
Okay, I'm about to retire. Once I retire, I'll have plenty of time for you.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, see, this is what it look like when it coming on you. You know what I'm saying? See, you can be on the chat talking crazy, but when that jab is in front, that's just me stealing your face. That's your face. Oh, crazy with it. All day with it. Easy morning, easy work. That gotta be a skull and bone. Yeah. That's how quick that skull and bones gotta be. Off the high coach. Off the half guard. No guard. Easy work, easy work. Who we got on the chat today? We got, what you said? Hold on. We got some talking. He said, fuck the ops, Mike think he Mike Jackson today. Oh, Lord, okay. Okay. Yeah, you gotta punch the air, man. Before you punches the faces, you gotta punch the air. That's all that is. Who else we got? Hollow TV. Salute, salute. It ain't even as hot as it could be out here today. Who rocking with me? Who in the chat with your boy Burly? Where everybody at? Everybody quiet on the Monday. Still gotta get that work in, even if it's easy work. Every day ain't gotta be the Bruce Lee day. Some days you just oil the machine, make sure the machine's still ready to go. Still green light. Who's seen the fights this weekend? Isaac Cruz is no longer a champion, man. Let me say something. Isaac Cruz done messed up a lot of money. You know, Isaac Cruz messed up a lot of money. It happens though. That's the game of boxing. That's definitely the game of boxing. But damn it, man. He definitely had that Tank Davis rematch. You know, that Tank Davis fight, the golden ticket there, you get that golden ticket. That's a win-win fight. Even if Tank knock you out, you walking away with millions. So, yeah, my man Isaac Cruz messed up a little bit of money. But he's still a loved one. He still can get it though. He still can reinsert himself back in the game. Patrick, PM Burly in the building. Yeah, man, I understand the plantation. I understand. We got to get it, though. We got to get it. We got to keep working until we own the plantation. That's all. One day you're going to buy them out. PM Burly. Straight like that. Well, yeah, Isaac done messed up a lot of money, man. I cried a tear for Isaac myself. Violent Wizard, I don't even know how to say it. I'm just going to say Ray. He pit-patted his way to success. He showed that not every punch got to be a killer punch. Look at, what is it, Ray Vargas? What's his name? That just fought Isaac Cruz. Ray Vesno, something like that. That's Ray something. But he showed, did you see how he was just touching him? See, that's how you fight the explosive fighter. See, what the explosive fighter wants you to do is open up and get crazy. He wants you to open up and get crazy so he can jump in there and hit you with them big bomb-like shots. And Ray, they had a very good game plan. That was a very smart game plan to kind of just touch, to keep him, to know where his position is at, to know where he was always at, because he cut the gap down so fast. He's small and compact. He coming in compact. So he come in so small and compact, you those 2 or 3 punches, you're going to miss Isaac. And by the time you look up, he's in the inside banging away with them round shots that coming out your peripheral. He got shots coming from all the way over here. You can't even see them joints. Busting you all up in the head, and then the hooks you can't even see. They coming from outside your peripheral too. So that's Isaac's game. So I think it was Garcia. Was it Robbie Garcia that was coaching Ray? You know, I think it was. If it is, you know, hell of a coach, hell of a game plan to kind of keep him at bay with the pitter pass. Just touch him. And then every now and then you would see him slipping that big shot. Slip, boom. Let Isaac know he was still in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Let him know, like, I'm still fighting, but we got a game plan that I'm executing right now. And that was a high-level game plan, high-level fight. It's like trying to defuse a bomb fighting someone like Isaac Cruz. You got to be there, but you got to move delicately. You know what I'm saying? You can't make no sudden moves. Mess around, the whole bomb blow up in your face. And that's how it is to fight someone like a Isaac Cruz, who at any moment can explode. So you got to give Garcia many props for the hell of a game plan that they had. You know, Isaac is the type of champion that I'm pretty sure he can bounce back from that. You know, the Terrence Madrimov fight. I think Madrimov had a game plan that was working. In the beginning, he came in with a lot of feints. I liked the feints. You know, I definitely liked the feints. In the beginning, it seemed like, okay, he gonna keep Terrence off balance. But by the 6th round, he was still feinting and not throwing enough punches. I was out of there. It became a sleep fight. You know, I was out of there. Of course, I knew Terrence was going to win, and it was only a sleep fight, not on Terrence's side, because Terrence is a counterpuncher. You know, Terrence is a counterpuncher. So he definitely, if anything needs to be said to Terrence about his performance, is that he could have led a little bit more. You know, but it could have also been because of Madrimov's feinting style that Terrence didn't really want to fall for those traps. So it could have been that too. But I see Terrence, it wasn't even a thought about who was going to win that fight. Once I seen Madrimov feinting for 7 rounds and throwing 2 or 3 punches in between, you ain't going to fight the greatest fighter pound for pound in his era. You ain't going to win a fight fighting him like that. You just ain't going to be able to do it. So I thought it was a boring fight only because Madrimov didn't really want to do what he wanted to do. Let me let this go by. And hold on 1 second. It get noisy. And do what he wanted to do, meaning you're the champion. You know what I'm saying? He coming in your house to take your belt. So I just think Madrimov should have fought a lot harder than what he did. Hold on, let this dude go by. A little noisy right now. Yeah, he definitely ate a lot of right hands. I definitely think Madrimov was able to land the lead right hand a lot, and I think that's the punch you need. That's the punch you need against the southpaw. So Madrimov throwing the lead right hand was definitely a good plan. That's definitely the punch you need. He should have. I think he activated. It's definitely the punch you need, but there's other punches you can land. We can all see Mayweather was very good with southpaws. Mayweather was very good with south. He landed left hooks, uppercuts. He knew how to use the angle against the southpaws. Madrimov was using the weapon, knowing the best weapon to use against the southpaw was the lead right hand. And I heard that he was snapping Terrence's head back, because I was out of the fight at a certain time, but I heard he was snapping Terrence's head back in the later rounds from the homie, that he was making some good contact with the right hand. I heard he hurt Terrence. I got to go watch the clips for that. But I just didn't think he was the champion. It's your belt. Like, he fought more like a contender than the champion. Like, I'm just saying, like, back in the heydays of boxing, when you went to go take the champion's belt, you had to go up in there and take it. I mean, like, you had to rip it from his grip, rigor mortis hands. He wasn't just passing you his belt. It's almost like Madrimov could have gave Terrence the belt back in the dressing room. Like, he could have saved us the whole fanfare. You know, saved everybody some money. You know, because he didn't do enough to keep his belt. That's all I'm saying, is that he didn't do enough to keep his belt. And as the champion, you got to make the contender fight. You got to make that contender take your belt. Ain't no way he should just be walking up in there easily, just walking away with the championship. So that's why I put the burden on Madrimov. The burden wasn't on Terrence. Terrence did what he did. Terrence gonna win, like Floyd Mayweather style. Terrence gonna win by any way necessary. I heard the scorecards were kind of crazy. I heard they when I was out of the fight, I had Terrence up 6-1. So some of those rounds, people may have said that Madrimov had, but before I was out the fight, I had him up 6-1. So if it's 6-1, it's only 5 more rounds left. So even with him winning, he wouldn't have to win the next 5 rounds just to get a draw. And I know, and I heard that Terrence definitely won 11 and 12. So I had him up 6. So if they definitely said he won 11 and 12, that's 8 rounds right there. That's 8, you know, that's 8-5 or 8-4 right there. That's 8-4. So, you know, maybe that's where the scorecards came from. But I definitely had him up 6-1. Some people say he won some other rounds. I don't know, but Terrence, to me, easily won that fight. And all I'm saying, on Madrimov's side, he should have put up a greater fight for his belt. I know Terrence is going to be undisputed in the 3rd weight class, but come on, people. Let's make it a challenge for this man. We know he's good, but somebody please challenge this man. God damn it. Somebody got to put a challenge on this man. He's just up in there walking in the weight classes, taking belts. He is great, though. He is great. He is who he is, but I just think there needs to be more of a challenge, especially if you're the champ. You got to fight harder to keep your belt. But, you know, let's see what Terrence does next. I think he got Fundora. He got Charlo next. Those are 2 great fights. I would love to see how he handles the long tree of a fighter called Fundora. Jamel, I think he beats Jamel up. I don't think Jamel is mentally strong enough for Terrence. So I think the Jamel Charlo fight is an easy fight, but the Fundora fight can be a little bit tougher for Terrence. And even though Errol is up there, they saying that he ain't giving Errol a second fight. Yes, it definitely should always be a challenge when you move up. Shouldn't be no easy just walk in the park, moving up to another weight class. But, you know, it's Terrence. We knew he was going, you know, it's his era. But I'm just saying, you got to fight a little harder for you to keep your belt. But it is what it is. Terrence moving up, looking like he's going to clear out 154. I don't see anybody in 154 who's going to give Terrence a challenge. So it looks like he's going to be undisputed in another weight division. But also, what I say about the Isaac Cruz loss too. Now look, if Isaac would have won, it would have gave Gervonta another fight to put in front of Shakur. But I think with Isaac losing, I think this turns all lights on Shakur. I think all lights go to Shakur now. Like, there's not too much Tank going to be able to say now with Isaac out the way. Yeah, definitely some of these fights are taking way too long. But like I said, I think with the Isaac out the way, Tank is going to now have to look at Shakur. Tank is definitely going to have to look at Shakur now. Who's left? You know, who's left? I think they saying Shakur may fight Zepeda, but I'm pretty sure Shakur would drop Zepeda like a hot potato, bars, drop Cepeda like a hot potato. Even when I ain't trying to rhyme, I'm rhyming. That's just what it be. But to get that Tank fight. So I think Tank really has to look at Shakur seriously now. Ain't no Isaac. You know, ain't no Loma. Loma say he chilling. So only person left is Shakur. The only person left is Shakur. Loma say he don't want no smoke. Loma say he ain't fighting until next year sometime. He going to chill. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think what Loma wanted to do was have Tank and Shakur fight, have one of them knock each other off, and then he fights the remaining person. I think that was Loma's plan. But Loma's plan may now, you know, may be forced to happen now with Isaac Cruz not being able to be there. Because if Isaac would have won that fight, he would have got the Tank rematch. Guaranteed, we wouldn't have seen Shakur next. We would have seen Tank versus Isaac Part 2. For sure. For sure, we would have seen that for sure. But now with Isaac out the way, all eyes on Shakur, like Tupac. All eyes on Shakur. Oh man, Jared Anderson, man. Now with Jared, they was saying Jared Anderson was the future of boxing, the future of the heavyweight. Foreign Fitness, I was just talking about that. I think Madrimov just surrendered this belt to Terrence. I don't think he fought hard enough. I don't think he showed what it is for a champion to hold his belt. Like I say, he could have gave the belt to Terrence in the back and saved us all a lot of fanfare. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he spent too many rounds fainting. Like, the fainting was good, though. Don't get it twisted. Madrimov fainting was high level. It was on God level. Madrimov fainting was on God level. So maybe, you know, and Terrence is a counterpuncher. And he's too smart to fall for all those feints. So what happened was Madrimov stood there for 6 rounds. And every now and then he throw the lead right. And you letting Terrence win with a jab, because Terrence's jab was touching him. Terrence was touching him with that jab. All in his face. Just touching him with that jab. So you just gonna let him collect these rounds? Like, no, you the champion. I just spent about 2 rounds fainting them, and then the rest trying to jump on him. Fuck it. Fuck it. He done knocked out everybody else. I might as well join the choir. But I ain't gonna let this man walk up into my weight division and just handily take my belt. Nah. Gonna be some low blows up in there. There's gonna be some rabbit punching. Like, I don't know. These champions ain't fighting like they used to. Like, I guess belts don't mean as much as they used to. There's so many belts, maybe that's what it is. The belts don't carry the weight that they used to. But back in the day when it was only like 2 belts, you took pride in wearing that belt and being called the champion. You damn sure wasn't gonna let nobody just walk up into your weight. Like Bob Foster. Look up Bob Foster. Bob Foster cleaned out the light heavyweight division. Cleaned it out. Just putting the Foster on everybody's face. Then he felt so bad and big, he said, I'm going up to the heavyweight. And guess who he ended up challenging? A young, smoking Joe Frazier. And guess what Joe showed him? You take your ass, go back downstairs. That's what you do to them. You take your ass and go back downstairs. And look how big Bob Foster was compared to Joe Frazier in height and reach. What Joe jumped on him. Like, is you crazy, little man? Sent him back downstairs. Send him back downstairs. That's it. That's all I'm saying is just Madrimov fought like he was the challenger. You had the belt. Like I said, I don't know. Yeah, it gotta be. It gotta be Fitness. It gotta be. There's too many belts. There's too many belts, man. You know, they making new belts every day. They got the French fry belt, the hamburger belt. You know, they got the intercontinental belts. They got the belt when you need to hold your pants up belt. They got all types of belts. And maybe it's diminished the whole thing of having the belt. I get it. But that's the only thing I got with Madrimov. Like I said, the only thing with Terrence, I think Terrence needs to learn how to be more aggressive. I'm pretty sure it's already in him. He looks like Marvin Hagler 2.0. So I ain't saying nothing that he probably already ain't got inside of him. But he likes to counter punch. I like to counter punch. I understand it. It's something real satisfying while catching a man while he's punching. I get it. But I think he needs to learn how to go in the foxhole after people. And see, this is what made Money Mayweather. People say what they want. Money Mayweather go in the foxhole to go and get you. He go and get you. If you playing too much possum, Mayweather going in that foxhole and pulling you out. He gonna make you boop bop you all upside your head. But you know, when you're so much to the counter puncher, you're always needing the opponent to lead. Since Madrimov wasn't leading, it slowed the pace of the fight down. Or like he wasn't fighting really, he was doing feigning too much. It slowed the pace of the fight down. But that's it. I think, like I said, I think Terrence Crawford takes over the 154 division, undisputed again. I see nobody that can give that man any type of run for his money. The only way I see him not become undisputed is Errol Spence wins a belt, and he just really doesn't want to fight Errol Spence, and he may just unify, and you know, the 154 division. I think Canelo knocks out Berlanga. Berlanga really came out like gangbusters, man. Like, I don't know if it was too many soup cans or his power is really that strong. Because Berlanga came out with like what was it, like 16 first round knockouts? You know, I think Berlanga had on the come out. Like, Berlanga was a monster. So I don't know if it was 16 tomato cans. You can tell he punch hard. You can look at his frame and tell he got a good punch. But it just all fell apart. And was it the skill? Like, I don't know. So I just think Berlanga's going to get a good payday. I think Crawford beats Charlo easy. Charlo over there getting arrested. You see what the Charlos are going through? That's another sad story in boxing. Lions Den. Charlo, Lions Den. Lions only. Charlo brothers, man. Like, what do you say? Like, what's the cause behind them? But we can see what it is. They're very emotional men. I think that's one thing you need to look at, is that the Charlo brothers are very, very emotional men. And I would say take their story as a warning sign of what can happen if you're a very emotional man. It just doesn't work for us. It won't never look good on us to be over emotional. And that doesn't mean you don't have no emotions. It means over emotional, like just too much, you know, no control. You just let them flow. You don't really think. You go emotions, think first, think later. And I think that's why they're getting arrested. They're fighting with their wives. They're fighting each other. They're cursing each other out. They're getting slapped in the face. Like, the Charlo brothers is just, that's a sad story. You know, so I think he's way too emotional to fight someone like Terrence Crawford. Charlo's way too not mental. He doesn't have enough mental fortitude to even defeat somebody like a Crawford. So I think Crawford smashes Charlo. I think a good fight at 154 is Crawford versus Fundora. I think Crawford still wins, but I would love to see how Crawford having a long reach and Fundora's reach is ridiculous. I would love it'd be like the fight of two praying mantis or something. Like, I think for sure Terrence has the higher fight IQ than Fundora, but just the body types, I think that would be a crazy fight to see. Fundora versus Terrence. I think that would be a crazy, crazy fight. But I think it's one of the best fights at 154 is Fundora or even Tim Tszyu. Let me not, I'm leaving Tim Tszyu out of there. Let me not leave Tim Tszyu out. I think some of the best fights for Crawford at 154 is Tim Tszyu and Fundora. I would say Errol, but he said he don't want to fight Errol no more. He said it's over for Errol. So I can't even throw Errol in the mix. But I would love to see part 2, but Terrence don't want part 2 with Errol, so it is what it is. But I think those are going to be some great fights for Terrence, is Fundora and Tim Tszyu. They probably one of the best of 154 right now. Who else we got? And yeah, in the heavyweight division with Jarrett, man, that dude was way too big, man. They said that dude was like 3 and some change. They do that. Oh man, I just felt bad. Like, you could see every punch was rocking him. Like, I don't even know what it must feel like to get punched by a man that's that big and knows how to punch. Big man knew how to punch. He was throwing them uppercuts. Them big man knew. Listen, big man is a problem. Big man is a problem. I think the higher echelon of the heavyweight division would probably solve him. I think Jarrett had a lot of flaws, and I think his one major flaw, because everybody will point out Jarrett's flaws, and every fighter has flaws, but I think Jarrett's one major flaw that made every flaw impossible to really fix is, I don't think he really likes boxing. I don't really think there's a love for Jarrett there. And he said this. He said it. But you can see it. I don't think there's really a love for boxing. You know, like, I used to hustle, but I didn't really love, you know, to sell drugs. It wasn't like a love. Like, I knew dudes that really loved to hustle. Like, they were engaged with going uptown, reeing up, bagging up, going to the streets, like hand-to-hand sales. Like, they were engaged. Like, they loved it, ate it up. It was exciting to them. They couldn't get enough of it. Me, I kind of figured I was pretty good at it, and it was a way to make money, because I ain't really wanted to have a 9-to-5 job. So, but I wasn't excited with it. You know, I wasn't happy to do it. Didn't want to be the king of New York. Didn't want to do none of those things. So that's Jarrett in boxing. Like, he just happens to have a good punch and got to the right places, beat up the right, you know, fought the right people. You know, fortune smiled upon him. But he doesn't have that thing. And if you don't have that thing, there's no way you're going to compete with the upper echelon. You're just not. Like, if you don't have it, it's just no way you're going to compete with the upper echelon, because that very thing is going to make you feel like you're doing the work. And you probably are doing the work, but you're doing the work more from a forced stance. So you're not even absorbing the work. You're not enjoying the work that you do. Terrence really looks like he loves fighting. You know, Terrence Crawford looks like he loves to fight. Mayweather looks like he loves to fight. Gervonta Tank Davis looks like he loves to fight. Canelo loves to fight. Shakur loves to fight. Like, these men love the whole thing. You can see it, the lacing up, the training. Of course, training is monotonous and repetition, and, you know, it can get a little boring and it hurts sometimes, but they love it for their results of them being able to get in the ring and outclass you. So they love the game. And that's the only way to really make it to the top. I mean, the upper echelon, that's the only way. You got to really love that shit, because the love, you know why, and this is a jewel. This is why you got to try to love what you do, because you got to understand how your brain works. Your brain is your greatest hater. Your brain is your greatest hater, meaning you, yourself, you are one of your top haters until you change that around. You know what I'm saying? You are one of your top haters. You have to learn how to get on your own team. So, if you're doing something that you don't really love to do, you can't do it at its maximum, because it's that part in you, the hater, that's like, man, I hate this job. Hate everything about it. I hate the way she looks at me when we go to the when we at the water fountain, when we at the water thing. You know, I hate the way my boss talks to me. I hate the fact that my lunch hour is only 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? This is just you. This, like, you can't escape this. This is just who we are. So you can't do it for the high performance. You start doing it for the check. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, this is why eventually you have to get to a place where you're doing something that you love to do. Even if you ain't making no money, because I'm going to break it down. So you end up just doing it for the check. But see, when you do something that you love to do, you'll do it for $0. $0. There's no check needed. No check needed. You was going to do it anyway. And that's why it's better to try to line up what you do, goddamn bugs, what you do with what you love. Because in the process of getting there, because it's going to be a hard process, it's not going to feel like a process all the way because you love to do it. The work ain't going to seem so hard. But imagine climbing the highest hill that you hate. I mean, you hate this hill. Everything about this hill, you hate this hill. You hate it. Matter of fact, the hill can be 3 feet tall, but you hate that hill. You're probably not going to climb it, or want to climb it, or enjoy it. But it could be a mountain that goes up to God's feet, but you love that mountain. You know what you're going to do? You're going to climb it. And you ain't going to climb it thinking how far it go up. You just going to climb it thinking, I really love this shit. I really love to climb this mountain. And before you look at it, you're at the top. Oh, yeah. Deontay, see, but Deontay is a little bit different from Jared. Because one thing you can see about Deontay is he loved to hurt other men. You can see it. Like, Deontay took pride in trying to hurt you. That's not something you can teach. That's what we in fighting call the it factor. Because you can have all of these techniques, left hooks, uppercuts, jab, straight. It mean nothing if you don't like, you know, if you ain't got that kill factor. So Deontay had the kill factor. He just wasn't boxing wasn't his chosen profession. I think he wanted to be a basketball player, if I'm correct, and he didn't make it. You know, Deontay is like Rocky Marciano, 49-0. Rocky didn't want to be no boxer. Rocky wanted to play for the White Sox. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be no boxer. He failed the tryouts, and his friend said, why don't you try boxing? And then, boom, 49-0. So, but also, Rocky was another man that loved to hurt other men. He had the thing that you can't teach. So all they had to do was teach him how to do it. But he had the thing. Deontay Wilder is, you know, boxing is hard, it's layered. Like, it's hard to come into the game late and be proficient with people against like Tank Davis. Tank was fighting since he was 6 years old. Like, you got to go against those guys. Those guys are tough. Yeah, I think Deontay lost the dog, but I think he lost it because he's losing, you know, and that's the fighter's mentality. Moreover, the sports fighter's mentality. See, a sport fighter can live with loss differently. Fighters live with loss hard. So him not being like the true all-around boxer, those losses hurt him, and they were probably any man. But I don't know if he can come back from them. I don't think he should. I think he should retire like the Cinderella Man. Like, his story is a movie. Like, I think he needs to retire and do his own movie. I think it'd be incredible. I think the Deontay Wilder story is bigger than his boxing career. You know, I think I think his story way bigger than his boxing career. His story is phenomenal. Listen, he didn't even know nothing about boxing. He wanted to play basketball. His daughter got sick and needed money for a surgery that cost a lot of money. He jumped into boxing. Within 1 year, he jumped into the Olympics, won the bronze medal, became the heavyweight champion, defended his championship more than I think any other heavyweight, had a 99, damn near 99% chance of knocking you out, more than any man that's ever gloved up in the history of boxing. Let me say this again. He had a percentage of knocking people out more than any other man since boxing started, since the early beginnings, since John L. Sullivan and them, Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler and them, past all of them, all the way up to now. Deontay Wilder had a greater chance of knocking you out with one punch. What? Forget his career, like and then not only did he get the money for the surgery, he became a multimillionaire and put Alabama on his back. Yeah, like I said, that deserves a movie. I don't know how he ain't got a movie yet. I don't know how Deontay Wilder ain't got a movie. It's crazy. Crazy. What he did is unheard of. I bet Rocky got a movie. Don't Rocky Marciano got a movie? I bet Rocky got a movie. Because what Rocky did was crazy too. It was just as exceptional as Deontay, except he had a better fight career. But it still was an exceptional thing. So, I give Deontay Wilder that. But like I said, Jared just doesn't want to do it. And I think he needs to get out of there before he gets hurt. Fighting is definitely something you shouldn't do if you ain't really got your heart in it, because you can die in there, man. Like, so those type of punches he took from that big dude could change his life forever, man. Those were big punches, man. Like, there was one punch where it almost looked like his head was going to come off his shoulders, man. He almost looked like he was about to get his head punched off. That's crazy. Somebody needs to check on Jared. Fact. Rock was a beast. Rocky Marciano had more ring IQ than he let on. Rocky was a beast. Gotta give it up to Rocky Marciano. And after he left boxing, he did everything in his power to make sure black boxers got their money. Foreman Fitness, do what you gotta do. Much love. Thanks for stopping through in the chat. Thanks for stopping through. Yeah, after boxing, Rocky Marciano spent a lot of time making sure other black men got paid. They don't talk about The Rock enough, man. The Rock did some great things, and especially for black men. Black fighters. The Joe Lewis's, the Jersey Joe Walcotts. Like, he looked out. He looked out. He looked out. Put some respect on Rocky Marciano's name. Melanated Community, Foundational Black Americans. Yeah, put some respect on his name. That man looked out. Big stories of what he did for black fighters that was getting no money. That they didn't want to see no money. They didn't want Jersey Joe. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you one story, because I'm a student of the game. So not only was I researching boxing, I read all of the books and heard some of the stories. This is how Rocky Marciano was getting black men gigs after boxing. Because after boxing, what the boxers doing? Where are they really getting their money from? They're getting their money from talking engagements, showing up, signing autographs, maybe write a book, show up, sign some gloves, stuff like that. But basically the talking engagements was the big money at that time. So nobody was booking the black fighters, the Jersey Joe Walcotts, after boxing. They couldn't get the talking engagement. Everybody wanted to hear Rocky Marciano talk. Everybody. His talking engagements was through the roof. He was getting big money after boxing. Rocky Marciano getting big money. So this is what Rock would do. They said Rock, and this is in his book. He said they would call him like, yo, Rock, we got a talk engagement for you. $8,000. $8,000 was big money back then. Big money. So they'd be like, Rock, we got $8,000 for you to come talk at this group home for kids, whatever. Rock would be like, bet, I'll be there. And then Rock said he would wait like 20 minutes, call them back and be like, you know what? I can't make it, but I'm sending Jersey Joe Walcott in my place. If you feel some sort of way, give him $7,000 instead. And nobody would want to tell The Rock no. Nobody wanted to tell The Rock no. So guess what they would say? Okay, we'll take Jersey. Send Jersey over. And then Rock would call Jersey like, Jersey, go get your shit, head over to Blase. They're going to pay you $7,000. That's what Rock was doing. Getting everybody that money. Yeah. The white man just wanted to give his money to The Rock. Rock said, nah, I'm going to catch this money and disperse it. So, you know, put some respect on Rock's name. He was a different breed. Salute to everybody in the chat, though. It was an easy work day. I couldn't do too much. I was being moved around. My phone overheated. A lot of noise. But tomorrow, workout with Burly. We're going to start earlier, probably around like 7 in the morning before all the noise comes. But salute to everybody in the chat. It's your boy LB. Hands up, chin down, rumble, young man rumble.